Hi. So you're thinking about moving to Denton County and you're not really sure what is going on in this crazy real estate market this time of year. We are in the summer of 2024 and it is hot in Texas, y'all. But I wanted to go over with you everything that is going on in Denton County. So stay tuned. Okay, here is the Denton County report for July of 2024. So it's all the little cities in Denton. And then I'm going to highlight the bigger cities in Denton County. Let's go through this. So the median price for houses in Denton County is $467,000. And that is down 1.3% from the same time July of last year. And really the distribution of those prices is anywhere between $300,000 to $750,000. And the rest is about 20%, 23% is other than that. So that's a large amount. That's kind of the range, $300,000 to $750,000 for a house. So when you're looking, I mean, you're not really, the odds of finding a house under 200,000 are less than 0.1%. So know that coming into it. But even if you're at a lower price point, say between 200 and 300, that's only 5.8% of houses that were sold in July. And, that's not many. So definitely, take that into consideration when you're buying a house. And then in July, the listings in Denton County was a little over 4,000 listings, 4,034 listings. That's 35% up. And that's quite a bit. Saw more listings come on in July than we had in a while. And I think people were kind of tired of waiting for the interest rate to go down and, or maybe they just had to move, right? So that's kind of what's going on there. Again, in July, we had not seen much of a rate change. We're in the middle of August right now, and we've seen a small decrease in interest rates. So it might be time to go ahead and buy a house, and you can still look at doing a buy down and getting that interest rate to be cheaper, which would be easier than having a price drop on a listing. People will net more money there. So that's something to think about. And then closed sales. So it is up 2.5% from last year. In July, almost 1,300 houses sold in July of this year. And that's up 2.5%. I guess in July of last year, we didn't have as many as well. We've kind of dealt with the interest rate being high for a minute. So we want to just tell you everything that's going on in the market. And then days to close, 39 days on the market, 33 days to close, and that's a total of 72 days. Back in 2022, that number was like nothing, like 30 maybe, because houses were coming and going on the market so quickly. So now it's taken a little bit longer. If you have that very desirable house, it's going to sell quicker than just sort of a house that may need some work or may need something, but you're still asking a higher price. So keep that in mind when you're listing. Make sure you talk to your agent about what that should look like. Next is months of inventory. So we're at 3.5 months of inventory in Denton County. So technically that is still a seller's market, but it's getting close to a stable, kind of middle ground, like balanced market. Once upon a time, it was said that 6 months was a balanced market. So since it's 3.5 months right now, that is more of a seller's market. But what I'm seeing right now in the market is sellers are putting their house up on the market, but they're a little bit more negotiable than they have been in the past, and they may work a little bit on that price. I'm not seeing prices really go down. However, maybe, there's a little bit more negotiation between the buyer and seller right now as to what, they want. And buyers can get some things, whereas 2 years ago, they really could not get a whole lot. It's like, take what I can give you. Here you go. Next, let's dive into some individual cities and see how that looks. I'm going to go to Denton right now. Denton, the city, one of the bigger cities in our county, and I'm going to go to the other 2 bigger cities in our county as well. The average price in Denton is $394,000, so almost $400,000, and that's compared to July of last year. That is 0 increase, so no change. So just like I told you a few minutes ago, prices are remaining stable. They're just remaining stable. Even though we're having a little bit longer time on market, prices are remaining the same. Although buyers can ask for things now and probably get some more things than they could have 2 years ago. Okay, so for price distribution in the Denton area, we are seeing 200 to 300,000. That equals 13% of the market. So that's a little higher than Denton County overall. So you're seeing more of the 200 to 300 in Denton County at 13%. So which is more than the overall county, which was way lower than that. Then our next price point is 300 to 400, and that is 42%. 400 to 500 is 24%. 500 to 750 is 14%. So again, we still see a small amount, but in Denton specifically, we're seeing all the traffic between $200,000 and $750,000. Only 5% more is $750,000 or higher, and nothing, 0 lower than $200,000. In Denton, make sure you think about $200,000 is my price point, and you need to be $200,000 or more. However, I think you're going to see $300,000 or more being a higher price point. More luck there. Okay, so keep that in mind. But that's how Denton looked for 2024 in July. And then active listings, we did not have as dramatic a increase here as we did in Denton County altogether, but Denton is 18.9% increase from this time last year, and that is 396 homes. So not a lot of homes in Denton went on the market in July this year. So that is an increase of 18.9%. Closed sales in Denton, for Denton area, is down 23%. 23. That's a lot. Only 119 houses closed in Denton in this month of July. And, that's not a whole lot for our county. For Denton, it's not the county, just Denton, the city, 119. So think about that. We're not seeing a whole lot of sales because of the interest rate. If people are financing, they're a lot more sensitive to that rate and what that looks like. People are just waiting to see what's going to happen, I believe. Unless they really have to move, they're waiting. Days on market in Denton is a little less than the average at 33 days on the market, then 30 days closing, about 63 days total in July for the houses that came on the market and sold. So again, if you have a knockout house, I think it's going to sell no matter what. If you have a house that needs a little work, but you're asking top dollar, that may be a little harder. Some houses are just sitting a little longer, but that doesn't really mean you're going to get a lot less. Buyers and sellers are talking and negotiating on what they want to do. In the months of inventory in July compared to July of last year, is that it's about 3 months of inventory. Again, growing towards that balanced market. Technically still in a seller's market. However, it is getting to be a higher number of days on market. So taking a little time there. Let's go to Frisco. Frisco is a huge growing community. Frisco is split between Collin County and Denton County. So this is what happened in Frisco, the city. Things are really happening in Frisco. They have so many things. That's where the Cowboys training facility is. That's where the PGA Senior Golf Tournament is going to be. Just lots of fun things and very close proximity to Dallas. So easy commute down the tollway to get to Dallas and just quick. So Frisco median price, this is a jump, $705,000 in July of 2024. And that is really no increase from last year at the same time. It is a little bit up, like 0.7%, so not even a whole percent up. But there is not a big increase in price from this last year to this year, again, showing us that prices for sellers haven't changed too much. They're still getting what the market is saying. Nothing is going down. We're in July of 2024, so that's good to know. What is also different in Frisco is we have a lot of higher price points being sold. So the distribution there is really 400,000 to 500,000 is 14%, almost 15. 500 to 750,000 is 36%, and 22% is 750 to a million, and 22% is a million and over. So we're really seeing the average price point there being through 400,000 to over a million. So under 400,000 in Frisco only is only about 4% of the people. So if you're going to be in Frisco, you're probably buying a $400,000 house or more. So you may see that if you go to other cities in Denton County, you're going to get more for your money, more of a value, that kind of thing. And that's just something to think about. If you're willing to drive 15 more minutes for your commute or where you need to be, that might be something worth considering. But if you love the hustle and bustle, you love to be near where the action is, Frisco has become a great destination spot. So that may be the one for you. So we're happy to help you either way. And then the active listings in July for Frisco was 696 listings. Now that is up 64 listings from last year. And so we are seeing more listings. Again, people can't wait anymore. So we're seeing that now. Then closed sales, we're seeing an increase in Frisco. People do want to be near the action at 21% increase from last year. So they had 235 closings this year in July. Days on market in Frisco is a little longer than Denton was. So we're seeing 37 days on market, 38 days to closing. So 75 total days from list to close is the average. Now that is 19 days more than July of 2023. It is taking a little longer. There will be more negotiating. You may, buyers may get some things that they're looking for in that new house. Then months of inventory is very comparable to what Denton County is at 3.9 months of inventory. And last year for Frisco at this time, it was only 2 and just a little over 2 months of inventory. So we're seeing a, fairly significant shift to getting towards a balanced market there. So there you go. Next city I want to go over is Prosper. So Prosper is another up and coming growing community. We see Prosper, it's out the 3080 corridor towards Frisco, away from Denton towards Frisco. So it's sort of between the two off of Highway 380, which is north of 635, obviously, and the George Bush Tollway. And then it's east of 35 and west of the Dallas North Tollway, but it's right off the Dallas North Tollway. It's very close to that, and 380 is where Prosper is located. The average price, this kind of blows me away because I've sold several homes in Prosper. The average price is $930,000 in Prosper. That's a lot. Now, there are farms out there, but there's also, communities too. So that's compared to July of 2023, that's up 6.8% from last year. So Prosper's doing really well. People are going outside of Frisco to find a house just a little further out, but maybe you're getting more for that buck, more square footage, more acreage, more amenities. So the active listings this year, they had 312, and that's up 63 listings from last year at the July same time. Closed sales are 5.8% higher. So they had 73 closings in July of 2024. Frisco is not a big city, but it is sort of a suburb city, really, of Dallas, but it's 30, 40 minutes away from Dallas, maybe 45. And it is a suburb of Frisco. So if you're doing things in North Dallas, Frisco, that kind of thing, maybe you're going to move to Prosper because you're going to get more for your money, or there's something that people are loving out there, and maybe it's acreage. Sometimes there are bigger lots out there and people like that. And it could even have not just a bigger lot, but bigger acreage. They could get an acre or more. Days on market. Now here is where it's a little different than we've seen in the other areas like Denton, Frisco, and Denton County in general. The days on market is a longer time. It is 51 days on the market. That is, a couple weeks longer than the average in Denton County. 43 days to close, and then total 94 days. So if you're going to sell your house in Prosper, you have a 100-day process. So you want to think about that when you're going to sell. We are in August, and this report is from July. So that's what we saw in July. And hopefully, even now, if you listed your house, it's still good. I mean, it's still a very desirable area at $930,000 as the average price of houses. The distribution there is even more startling, but most people are buying houses between $750,000 and $1 million. So the other 55% falls outside of that. 1 million and over is 32%. So between 750 and over 1 million is 78% of the business, and everything else is 750 and below. Now 500 to 750,000 is 16%. So really below $500,000, you're not seeing a whole lot of sales in Prosper. It's a total of a little less than 6%. So a lot of people are buying at a higher price point in Prosper. So it's a great area. Then 4.7 months of inventory. Again, getting very close to a balanced market. That is compared to 2.7 months of inventory in July of 2023, almost doubled, 2 months. So there you go. That's the average housing market for Denton County for July of 2024. I'm going to do these updates monthly so you know what's going on in the market. People are like, is it time to sell? Is it not? I'm happy to help you. Just call me, drop me a message, and let me know how I can help you. I can answer any questions about the market or what's going on, and just kind of my take on it. I do a lot of research on this, and I travel, with Texas realtors and learn about what's going on in other markets too. So I can probably answer most questions for you. So if you have any questions, give me a call. Talk to you soon.